Everybody, and welcome to Thrifty Kaniffy. This is my very first video. I'm excited to bring you. And what we do on this channel is we talk about traditional pocket knives, traditional pattern pocket knives. And just to give you a little background, my family was on vacation traveling through Tennessee, and I came across a billboard along the side of the road, and it was talking about Knife Works knives for sale. I was like, well, something to do while we're traveling, and hey, can we stop in there and see what it's like? And we did, and what it ended up being was Smoky Mountain Knife Works. You maybe have heard of them. And this store is amazing. It has so many knives, and that's when I first got hooked on pocket knives as a hobby, and I've been collecting ever since. So let me show you what I've got today. I have 6 budget knives. That's what I'll always be bringing you, is budget knives. Knives under $50. It's kind of my price point I try to stay under as I collect. But I've got 6 Sowbellys for you today, all by Rough Ryder. And I've got more than that, but I'm just going to show you 6 right now, and then we'll see how that goes, and then we'll show you more in the future. There's the first one, a tribute to Freemasonry. Now this knife comes in a tin, and it's embossed on the lid. You can see the compass and square of the Mason symbol. Comes in a felt line liner there, nice and soft. Let's take a look at the knife. So what we have here is a deep blue smooth bone with the masonry shield. 2 nickel silver bolsters with stripes on either side. Of course, the Sowbelly is a 3-blade pattern. Here you have the copper liners. You can see the fit and finish of this is pretty nice. It's got fingerprints all over it. It needs to be cleaned up a little bit, but these are nice and smooth. The pins, pinched bolster on the end. No, just round it off. Yeah, just round it over. Alright, so take a look at the clip blade. And it's got a nice etching on it. It says, "In search of more light," with the masonry logo there. And this particular knife has no half stop. I think the older ones that Rough Ryder made in the Sowbelly do not have the half stop. Now you'll see this is the horseshoe stamp, which would indicate that this is kind of in the middle of the age-wise. It's in the middle of the series. Not the earliest, not the latest. Earlier stamps just said Red Ryder in a Red Ryder in a font. There's a script font written out. This is the horseshoes, and then later came the double R pattern, which you'll see here in a minute on some of these other knives I'm about to show you. Here's this bay blade, again with the horseshoe stamp, and the sheep's foot. Okay, so that's the Freemasonry RR 1223. Next up, we got the Copper Coil series. Now, one thing about this is you'll notice that when they come in these magnetic boxes, some of them have the envelope-shaped front on them, and some of them are just squared off. Let's look at the box. Alright. Again, felt liner and RR on the inside of the box. Now this is a little heavier knife because it's got so much copper in it. It's got more heft to it. You got the slanted R bolster in the middle, 3-stripe bolster, a copper bolster. It's not R-stripe bolster, R-stripe design in the middle of the knife. Generally, this on the R stripe bolsters are on the right side of the front of the knife. But here you got copper with throughout both bolsters and part of the handle. And then you also have copper liners, which is kind of nice. Other side, you got the logo in the middle as well on the other side. Spay blade. It's a black stone wash. And you got the RR tang stamp on the clip blade. Stone wash blades throughout, and RR on that blade. Tang stamp and that blade as well. And you got the swedge here. Here. I think it was on the main blade as well. Yeah. Okay, so there's your copper coil series. And that is number RR1830. Alright. Moving on. We have the copper swirl series. Now see, this box has the full corners on it. Again, same insert. This knife has a black handle with copper inside the pattern or the handle. I'm not exactly sure how they do that, but very interesting looking. Swirls. And then you have the copper bolsters. There's no slant R on this one, on that side, but obviously the front side it has it. So, and there's the pinch bolster. Copper swirl. Now this is unusual because I thought they all had circular design on the both sides, but this proves that that is not necessarily the case. You got circles on this side, but not really that side, unless you count that, I guess. But these are mirror finished blades to the matte strike pull, double R pattern stamp, clip blade, mirror finish. There's your spay blade. And your sheep's foot. Alright, so copper swirl series, Sowbelly. And I should mention that these knives, they all measure 3 3/4 inch. There you go, gives you an idea of the size. Alright, I'll just leave that there. Alright, next up we have the the classic Micarta series. This is number 1991. Now this knife, the green Micarta handle, and like a satin shield double R. You see that? Satin bolsters with single stripe. Just really like the deep, rich color transitions that you get with this handle. I've seen some of the other Micarta handles, you know, blue, and I think there's a black one. I prefer this one the most. It just gives you more color variation. And this is just a really classy knife with the satin finish. This one has a super hard pull. The other ones were not nearly that hard. RR stamp. I mean, these are quite a bit easier to pull, but that main blade that's about a 9. That's almost a nail buster. Again, you got the swedge. Alright, RR stamp. Okay, so classic micarta Sowbelly. Alright, next up we have the Tiger Stripe series, jig bone. And it's obviously named Tiger Stripe for its pattern on the handle. You have two nickel silver bolsters with no R on them. Some prefer it without, some prefer it with, some don't care. I'm kind of in the I don't care camp. As long as they don't overdo it, I'm okay with it. Oh, my bad. That was the back of the knife, so it does have the R bolster, slant bolster. Yeah, I guess I gotta remember that it's only on one side. But you have this nice stripe, horizontal stripe pattern behind the downward stripe, so you can just kind of make that out. There's your spacing. Pretty good. Brass inserts. Clip blade. RR stamp. Pretty much the same thing as last knife. Alright. And your sheep's foot. Okay, so there's the Tiger. And I don't know if I remember telling you the number, but that was RR2222. Tiger Stripe. Okay. Yeah, just the one side with the R. Okay. And that was that way too, right? You just have one side with it. Okay. This, of course, with it being part of the handle, it's on both sides. Okay. Now, the final knife I'm going to show you today is in the High Plains series. Alright, there's your box. Here's your number. RR2050. And this one's kind of different because it's a smooth bone, but it has these ridges on the bottom and the top with like a little small mound in the middle. And the idea is to mimic a topography of a map, High Plains, right? You got your slanted R bolster, and then a single stripe bolster, nickel silver. Back is without, just pinch bolster. I will say the matching of the color on both sides is pretty solid. Sometimes you'll have like one side quite a bit different color than the other. Not the case in this one. Here's your clip blade, mirror finish, RR, tank stamp. So you better look at that. Spay blade. Alright. Sheep's foot. There you go. So there are your 6 patterns, first ones that I'm going to show you. I've got more videos to come, more Sowbellys, more other traditional knives, and I hope you enjoyed the video. If so, like, subscribe, comment, and come back for the second one. I've got more to show you. Alright guys, take care.